G'day, welcome to my kitchen. This is one of those really cool tactical channels where you stand in front of really cool things in the background like curtains in your kitchen. Alright, basically this is the Pointer LR1000 shotgun as it's sold here in Australia. From what I can see on the internet, it's actually the Pointer Field Tech 4 that's had a retarding mechanism put into the action so that when it cycles back I have to action it, or push that to cycle it forward. I'm going to just preface this by saying I'm not a shotgun expert. My knowledge with shotgun goes that I've owned a Maruku Model 70, Beretta Silver Pigeon, my brother's owned an Escort, I've had lots of friends who've owned Brownings, I've used their guns, they've used my guns. I use shotguns primarily to shoot geese out of the air, ducks out of the air. I'm not a competitive shotgunner. I'm not someone who knows everything about everything with shotguns. I'm just someone who uses shotguns for the joy of shooting, not even hunting, just shooting animals out of the air. If you want to call it hunting, you can. So I'm not an expert. If I get something wrong, I'm sorry. If I've done something wrong, I'm sorry, but that's what I've got to say. I'll just go from tail to toe. Basically what we got here is, on the back of this gun you get a rubber butt pad. I took the butt pad off to put in the plates that adjust the throw angle of the stock. I took this pad off. Once I'd mucked around here, I went to put it back on. This screw mounts straight into the rubber of this stock. I hadn't over torqued it, I was just doing it up lightly with a screwdriver and it strips out. So this screw has got barely any thread on it, goes straight to this butt pad. So it's the same with this swivel for your sling. This is just a screw that goes straight into this nylon butt pad. If you want to use the gun long term, you might want to build a block there to put a Nyloc nut on it so that lasts longer. And same here, you might want to just put a better screw in there. Now once I had all that off, I tried to undo the bolt which adjusts, or to put the plate in here. Because of the narrowness, or the way they've built this stock, it's too narrow to fit a standard 13mm socket into. I have 3 different socket sets, 1/4 inch socket sets. I tried all of them, none of them, well they're all too wide because they're all standard issue to fit into here. So I'm going to go and have to find a friend with a lathe. I'm going to have to get my socket tapered down to get this out to put the plates in. Look, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but you should be able to use your average socket to get your average 13mm bolt out. So I'm just moving up here. The action itself. Basically, when I got this gun, I've got a habit of buying guns, you pull them apart, you have a bit of familiarity with the mechanism, and you see what the condition is. When I pulled this thing apart, it had what looked like metal flakes all over the trigger mechanism and the elevator here. Not a big deal, covered it with oil, scraped it all out, blasted it with air, oil again, all good, works fine, but I don't usually see guns come with metal filings in them. Now, the barrel, this comes when you pick it up from the shop. When I picked it up from my shop, it came with the 20-inch barrel attached. I took that barrel off and I went to put on the 28-inch barrel because that's what I'll be using more than anything. The 28-inch barrel I had a good look down it, and in front of the gas port, around this section, gas ports here, it had what looked like black smearing in it. And I thought, oh, that's probably just gunk left over from the test firing, or maybe grease from packaging. And so I just give the barrel a pull through. About 10 pull throughs later, barrel's perfectly fine, but this part of the chrome lining was actually tarnished, like rusting. I tried to scrub it with some hops number 7 is it, and it was stuck in there. It was a fault. So I took it back to the dealer. I'm very lucky, I live in Darwin. We have excellent gun dealers up here. They looked at it, they said, yep, it's a fault. They changed it with another barrel they had in the shop. We talked to the importer was fine with it. So that's a good thing. It's good to have buy local, support local, and they supported me back, which is excellent. This choke, it's not a fancy trap choke. It's the standard number 3 modified choke that comes with the gun. I've been to the range twice with this. I've shot roughly, let's say 120, maybe 140 shells out of it so far. This choke was tight to get out of the 20-inch barrel when I test fired it on the first day. So I put the same choke into the 28-inch barrel. This choke's now stuck in here. I've unwound it, I cannot unwind it anymore, it's stuck solid. It felt tight coming out of the 20-inch, but now it's stuck. Now, every other shotgun I've had are steel-proofed for modified. You don't go tighter than modified. Modified's the tightest you can. So now I've got to go and find another hopefully it's a Benelli Beretta style choke and I can get one locally, or I'll be shooting this with cylinder or with a cylinder choke from the rest of the season. So that's just a thing. I've never had a choke blow out. Usually once you've cracked your choke, you can just screw it out by hand. I've been wrenching on this to try to get this out the whole time with the little tool they give you, which is a standard looking choke tool. I cannot get this choke out, so I've got a gunsmith mate, he'll help me get that out, and I'll have to go and buy another choke. So that makes the $11, $25 gun so far, trip to the city and back, what, 140, 120 rounds. We're adding hundreds and hundreds of dollars onto what should be a cheap, reliable gun. The other thing, this has been at the range twice. I've never bashed it or dropped it or anything. I've just leant it against the benches at the range, which aren't aggressive or anything. You can see the paint's already coming off. It's dinted here. I'm not too worried. This is going to be a field gun. This is a gun that I intend to take geese shooting. I intend to take hunting and pig shooting. It's going to get scratched, but it's not bluing. It's not Cerakote. It's just some sort of paint, which, hey, it might be a good thing. You can just put more paint on top of it, or I might just spray paint it camouflage. So, look, 2 trips to the range, 140 rounds. Yeah, whatever. Now, reliability wise, I'll throw together a few little videos. I was actually going to do a full unboxing because I was so excited when I got this, but the unboxing didn't go that great. I'm terrible at it. I'll just explain a few little things. It says on the side of this chamber, 3-inch chamber. It says on the side of the 20-inch barrel, 3-inch chamber. It doesn't feed reliable anything else. Okay, so I've got these Federal 3-inch steel BBs. There's 4 in the tube right now. I thought it was meant to take 5 in the tube, but obviously not. So I'll just... So far, these haven't played up. Everything else has played up, but these have been the best. Which, it says 3-inch chambers on the side of the gun. Maybe it's got something to do with it. Good. Perfect. Now, I tried about 4 different types of ammunition, locally available ammunition, all steel, because that's what we have to shoot waterfowl with. And the only thing it would run consistently is 3-inch Federal BB. It doesn't want to run anything else. You'll get 1 or 2 shots, then you'll get a hang up, because the loading gate is timed for a 3-inch shell. As the bolt comes forward up this loading gate, it expects the shell to already be seated, so the loading gate falls away, or the elevator falls away, and the bolt does the rest of the work. Problem is with the 2-inch shell, it hasn't gotten in the chamber yet. I'll just give you an example. I've loaded 5 shells in here. I can't push this little lever to bring the gate down, the elevator down, to allow it in. So if you have a shell, just tap it there. That's put the shell in the bottom of the elevator ready to go, so ready to rock and roll. So you consistently get jams. I even had cases where I got light primer strikes. Light primer strike, and so light primer strikes weren't with the Federal. I reload a lot of pistol stuff. Federal primers are known as the softest primers. These other primers, I'm not so sure. Winchester's known for being a slightly harder primer. I had the hang-ups with that. I had the hang-ups with the Ely, and so yeah, light primer strikes is a pain in the butt. I'll strip it down, make sure there's no crud in there, but really 100 rounds into a shotgun, there's shotguns, there's Mossbergs that I've seen on the internet with other people talking about them. They've had thousands of rounds and they never even get clean, so that's a bit of a pest. So I've talked to people who own the Bushmaster, or the Bushmaster, and I've asked them, is theirs unreliable? Does theirs fail to feed? And if you go to Cleaver's They've got a video of a guy shooting all sorts of different ammo out of his Bushmaster. The guys at the gun club reckon the Bushmasters don't have the same problems. I bought this because it came with the 2 barrels. I thought that's a fantastic thing. A short barrel shotgun in the scrub would be the ultimate thing. But a gun that doesn't cycle is as good as a boat horse sometimes. So I've either got to spend more money taking this to gunsmiths and modifying it and getting a little, I'm thinking about building a little piece that can hold the round further forward on the gate so it doesn't fall back as far. This is all things you've got to do after fact. Now if you want to buy this gun, go out shooting geese with it. One, I would straight away just put the standard cylinder choke in it so you wouldn't wreck one of these chokes. I'd also just go and buy 3-inch shells and hopefully have a better run than I did. Now, I'm not bagging the gun, I'm not a shotgun expert, I'm not a gunsmith. I'm just a basic guy who shoots geese out of the air, but as far as I'm concerned, you could buy, well, Cleavers in Australia lands semi-auto Mossbergs for about 1,200 bucks. This is Turkish, this is an American made, this is a copy of a Benelli or a Mossberg or something else, but we should be able to make a gun that cycles in this day and age with just about anything for this price range. So I'm slightly disappointed at this point. I'm hoping things get better, I'll tell you if they do, but I'll post some videos before or after this clip of it stuffing up. But yeah, just letting you know, so basically I've got to go and get this choke fixed, I've got to fix this feeding problem, so the gun's got a while to go yet.